And as we watch a head-on-head confrontation between the WWF and the NWA, I think you're going to see some real wild excitement, not only inside the ring, but outside as well. All right, let's talk about our travels for today, shall we? We'll be going to Kansas City, also Memphis. We'll go to Texas for World-Class Championship Wrestling, North Carolina. That's Atlantic Coast Wrestling. We have Continental Championship Wrestling, Southern Championship Wrestling. We have got a heavy agenda, obviously, right? This week's Mat Classic, incidentally, comes from Calgary. We'll have the regular features such as the ratings and fan forum. But right now, we launched the proceedings with a match out of Kansas City. It's a great tag team battle. Formidable teams in the ring, Grim Reaper and Mike Stone, and they go up against the combination of the huge guy, Solomon Grundy, and Jason Sterling. This is quite a match.
Get the pin. He's not sharp enough to go. He needs a breather, and he made the tag.
It was a smart move on his part.
Right.
Yes, it was.
There's no room for selfish people in tag team wrestling. You've got a partner, and you have to use them, and that's what's going to make a successful team out of any team out there.
Quick tags in and out. That's the secret to good tag team wrestling. And so far, I've seen that on the part of Jason Sterling and Solomon Grundy. Haven't seen that too much on the part of Mike Stone and the Reaper.
I think the reason for that, Vince, is that this other team here, Sterling and the big guy, have really teamed well together.
It's like Jason's getting ready to do something.
Beautiful!
Caught him. Oh my God!
He's going to get up from that. He's shaking, but
beautiful. Again, right on the side of the head, Jay.
He's shaking, but look at him shaking his head like in a maniacal manner.
Again, Mike Stone stuck his nose where it didn't belong.
Exactly.
This is what I'm talking about, Jay.
Exactly right. Oh, double thrust right to the throat.
It was a despicable move on the part of Mike Stone, but you have to give him credit. He knew that the end might have been that, and he came in and made the save.
Well, it's tag team wrestling.
Oh, my God.
Beautiful
what a suplex.
Suplex from Mike Stone. And I've said it before, he's a former champion, never defeated for his title. Don't take a thing away from Mike Stone.
That's right. He's shown some power right there, and he picked Jason Sterling up like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, he did.
And I think Jason's feeling the effects of that. He's slowed way down.
Mike Stone directing his comments at you, Vince, asking if you're paying close attention. You are indeed paying close attention.
Absolutely. I've been paying close attention to the power moves as well as the cheating. Jay.
Yeah, Vince, I don't want to take anything away from a great match or singing in the ring, but obviously you're going to have a little advantage. You're sitting here with me. You've got the best seat in the house. Yeah. You're seeing all the competitors today.
Yes.
There's a tournament coming up.
Yes.
You might wrestle any 4 of these men that night.
Absolutely. The tournament is going to be involved the top wrestlers from the WWA, and I've been fortunate enough to be involved in that tournament, and I'm going to do my very best. And you know, I have to be honest with you, Jay. I'm doing a little spying on my own, sitting here with you this week. I'm taking a look at all the competition. Absolutely.
Great opportunity for
I'll be quite honest with you. Just seeing all the competition right here in the ring at this moment, I'm going to have to be at my sharpest if I'm going to win that tournament.
Yes. Everybody today has looked just sharp. McCord beat a man 100 pounds larger than him. Mike George, I don't want to bring up a sore subject. Mike George looked very, very impressive today.
No matter how you cut it, Jay, no matter what my personal feelings are, Mike George is the world's heavyweight champion.
Indeed.
And in order to be a champion, you have to be a tremendous wrestler and athlete, and that he is. I don't care for the way he does things, and I don't care for the way he treats me, but as far as wrestling, and look at the big guy go.
He's taking 2-on-1. He's a human wrecking
ball. We've got all 4
right
wrestlers
here.
in the ring right now. The referee
in the ring
can't
right
seem
now.
to get any order here.
It had to happen. He's kept law and order here, but tempers are out of hand. Time's running short on this match.
And a big headbutt by the big guy. And Grundy, he looks hot. He looks like he's getting a little aggravated in there, and he's going to take business into his own hands.
10 minutes.
Wait a minute. Now, Jay, did you see that?
Wait a minute. Get a shot of Mike Stone.
He's got a pair of handcuffs in his hand.
Get a shot of Mike Stone here.
Right now.
Oh, did you hear that?
Oh, my God.
Did you hear that?
Oh, he just gave a shot to Grundy. That's totally uncalled for, Jay.
Handcuffs.
Ring the bell.
Referee Bill Harper's rang the bell. This match.
Well, the Raven handing over a set of cufflinks there to Stone, and that brings about an end to the match out of Kansas. Rather different, to say the least. Over now to Memphis, Tennessee. And it is there that a strange thing happened recently. It was kind of a sentimental thing in a way when when Jeff Jarrett made the transition from Memphis to world-class championship wrestling, Kerry Von Erich had a gift to give to Jarrett, and, well, it upset a few people.
Die that you really loved more than anything in the whole world, you'll understand exactly where I'm coming from right now. I have something for Jeff. My family agreed. Jeff Jarrett has become like a brother to me. I want this to happen. My brother Kevin wants this to happen. And I'm sure Mike in heaven looking down right now would want this to happen. Jeff, I have something in this bag that means more to the Von Erich family than anything I think we've ever owned. It was my brother Mike's. My brother Mike won the Texas championship with it. He was the youngest ever to win the American championship with it. I won the first world title, the WCW world title, with this jacket in my corner, and I want to present it to you. From the Von Erich family to you, Jeff, our lucky jacket.
Well, the presentation took place, but that was not the end of it, however. Dirty Dutch Mantell got into the proceedings, and, well, let's go back to Memphis and find out how it all turns out.
Hey, Dad, what do you mean that you got a dead man's jacket on? Now, what's that supposed to do? The man is saying that he's got that's the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. But then again, the Von Erichs are the stupidest people next to you I've ever met. Or you come over here and I'll knock you next week. Now, he's got a dead man's jacket on, lad. You don't
going on here. Golden beating the stew out of Jeff Jarrett. The bell is yet to ring. Dutch Mantell ripping that jacket given to him by Kerry Von Erich, tearing it to shreds. There's Robert Fuller with a kendo stick, keeping everybody out. Here comes Kerry Von Erich and Kevin Von Erich. That'll take care of him.
Well, as I said during that match in there, that probably was the low point. Dutch, not, hey, listen.
Hey, I got it right. I knew you was going to say something about me. As soon as I went in the back, you just can't keep that fat mouth of yours shut about nothing. You get a bump it, bump it, bump it. I got respect.
You got
I'm
respect.
a professional.
Nobody
I respect everybody, and in return, I expect to get respect.
Well, after those few words from Mantell, Jarrett got back into the ring, and he kind of straightened things out pronto. But right now, we've got to take a commercial break. After that, we're going to be back with action from Atlantic Coast Wrestling, right here on Pro Wrestling Plus. Wrestling Plus, as we turn our attention to Dallas and world-class championship wrestling. It is there that gentleman Chris Adams is in the ring against David Hinkle. And after the match, we have an interview with Adams concerning the Samoan SWAT team and Buddy Roberts.
Mark Lorenz back with you here at the Sportatorium. Frank Visick will be down shortly as our first match is ready to get underway. Harold Harris, your referee, gentleman Chris Adams against David Hinkle. After this match, we're going to talk to Chris Adams. We told you last week about Buddy Roberts firing the Samoan SWAT team. Number one, they lost the World Tag Team belts, and Buddy says he doesn't like losers. And number two, they couldn't get the job done with Chris Adams. Adams says he didn't have any problem with the SST. His problems with Buddy Roberts. Then we'll talk to Chris after this. Let me again remind you what I told you on the opener. Our main event last week will be the farewell to Eric Embry for the World Light Heavyweight Wrestling title. He defends against Cactus Jack Manson, and it'll be great to see Eric go out by retaining that World Light Heavyweight belt. Our main event this week, Jeff Jarrett and Brickhouse Brown against Beauty and the Beast. And will the pink mat be unveiled? We'll see. It may be what Frank is up to right now. We're going to hear from Billy Superstar Dundee. We're going to hear from Cactus Jack and Skandor Akbar. I understand gorgeous Gary Young collected the $50,000 bounty right after the match last week. We had a little footage of that big celebration back in the locker room following that mess. I want to use harsher language, but I must be careful. As Adams locks up David Hinkle. Adams, the outstanding star from England. We got a big tag team event this week on television. Kendo Nagasaki and the Super Black Ninja against Colonel Braddock and Jimmy Jack Funk. Braddock, the young partner that Jimmy Jack Funk has brought in. It was Adams with a drive that knocks Hinkle across the ring. Boy, there was an outpouring of emotion here last week, continuing on through the week to this week's program regarding the departure of flamboyant Eric Embry. It has been the end of an era. He's been one of our top-billed individuals for a couple of years now. Clothesline by Adams. The no DQ worked against Eric more than it worked for him. Frank Dusek has arrived here as Adams delivers the super kick, and down goes Hinkle. 1, 2, 3, and there's your match.
Your winner, gentlemen, Chris Adams.
And Frank, as I get Chris over here for an interview, I just told the crowd that the DQ deal last week worked against Eric rather than for him.
Boy, did it ever work against Eric, huh? Gee whiz, I'll tell you, Mark, it's the no disqualification that put him under. Anyway, Mark, you go ahead with gentleman Chris Adams. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you, Frank. Gentleman Chris Adams joining me here at ringside. Everybody's talking about the Buddy Roberts firing the Samoans, with you being one of the reasons.
Well, I'm just looking for Buddy Roberts. You know, it's really amazing, Mark. You know, you try to mind your own business. You try to get into other things, such as promotions and things like that I've been doing. You try and stay out of trouble, but it doesn't matter how much you try. For some reason, trouble seems to follow me right behind. You know, Mark Lorenz, Buddy Roberts, it was there all the time. You see, I don't have anything against the Samoan SWAT team, and I couldn't understand why after every one of my matches, you, Buddy Roberts, would come in, distract me, and then, pow, from behind, the SST would mash me up. Well, that's fine, you see, because I thought the SST, I'll get you back. You people know I mean what I say. But I was slightly wrong, you know, Mark. It wasn't really the SST. It was Buddy Roberts. Let me tell you one thing, Buddy Roberts, and I mean this from right in here. I'm going to be watching out for you and your little cliques. So now you have Beauty and the Beast. Well, Beauty and the Beast, I'll be watching out for you too. And Buddy Roberts, if you so much as think about attacking me one more time, you're dead meat. And that's a promise.
Chris Adams is not through with Buddy Roberts. Should be.
Well, Adams, why don't you say what you think? Buddy Roberts, I kind of get the impression you had better brace your feet, right? Okay, over down to North Carolina, where Atlantic Coast Wrestling comes in. And it's there that we have a new co-host in the territory with Rick Stewart, somebody called Baby Doll. I think you're going to be surprised by this one. Here she is with Rick Stewart to commentate a match involving Ricky Nelson and Trent Knight. And this is quite a bout.
Coast Wrestling, Rick Stewart at ringside, and boy, do we have a surprise for you. The new co-host of Atlantic Coast Wrestling, the lovely and talented Baby Doll.
Well, Rick Stewart, it is a pleasure to be here at Atlantic Coast Wrestling. This is my home now, and And right now, I'm going to look as great as I can with you, Rick Stewart.
That's not too hard to do, believe me. In the next 60 minutes, we've got a tremendous hour of wrestling ahead. The world's junior heavyweight champion, Nelson Royal, is here. The Outlaw Deaton brothers, and we've got a special surprise.
Yeah, those special supplies, and Jimmy Garvin's going to be here, too, in a little bit.
Better believe it. Now, all in all, 60 minutes of your favorite stars. Plus, we're going to be telling the fans at home about an elimination tournament. Of course, a lot of people have been asking about the Atlantic Coast Tag Team belt.
Situation. It's going to be really interesting.
It's a single elimination tournament leading up to the actual tournament for the Atlantic Coast Tag Team belts. We'll be telling you about that more in just a couple seconds, but I guess without further ado, we ought to...
Hey, we've got our first match coming up.
There you go. Let's go to the ring, fans, for the start of this hour of Atlantic Coast Wrestling.
Welcome back to Atlantic Coast Wrestling. Rick Stewart along with Baby Doll. And I'll tell you, Doll, before we could even get back from the commercial break, we saw Ricky Nelson and Trent Knight start to go at each other inside the ring.
Yeah, Trent Knight was getting over there in Ricky Nelson's territory, and Ricky Nelson wasn't about to let that happen, so they started the match, and we rang the bell for it.
That's Ricky in the black trunks, the very surprised-looking Trent Knight, courtesy of a Ricky Nelson arm drag in the red. Two, again, of the up-and-coming stars. We saw gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, and they don't make them like that real often, you know what I mean?
You kind of imagine with his squeezy gone that if he gets that wild with her gone, just how bad it is when he's away on the road for a week or so.
Gorgeous Jimmy may be on the prowl this evening, but we won't tell. We won't tell Squeezy.
No. Squeezy might catch the VCR later on this tape.
Ricky Nelson trying to fight his way up out of a Trent Knight side headlock. Now, what Jimmy was talking about in this single elimination tag team tournament, it's going to be taking place over the next 3 weeks, right here on TV. You lose one match, you're out of the tournament. And what this is to decide is the seeding placements for the Atlantic Coast Tag Team Championship. Got a beautiful trophy that goes to the winner of the seed elimination. We'll bring that out a little bit later this hour. Plus a big hunk of cash and, of course, a shot to be in line for the Atlantic Coast Tag Team title.
That's right. Once you get that title, as we all know, Baby Doll always had him with the title around his waist, that those titles cost a lot of money, and if you've got the money, then you get to have those little extras in life that make it oh so nice.
Thinking back, when the belts disappeared, so did a couple of your wrestlers.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, once they didn't fulfill what they had said that they wanted me to, then that was it. They were gone.
Ricky Nelson really moving out strong against Trent Knight.
Big elbow. Keep on him. He's got to keep on him, not take that time. He's got to keep his offensive going.
See?
He let Trent Knight just get that little breath, and that was it. Trent took advantage of it.
A lot of wrestling writers say that Ricky Nelson may be one of the great stars of the future. Certainly a guy to keep his eye on in the weeks and months to come here on Atlantic Coast
Wrestling. Just learn how to put those moves together, and he's going to be a nice-looking young man, and he'll win a title here and then if he just can put those moves together and think about what he's got to do.
You find that's what short circuits a lot of wrestlers. They can put together one or two offensive moves.
And that's it. They black out.
What is it, concentration that they lose?
It's just a lot of it is whether you can really think ahead. A lot of it is just experience about learning. It's like practicing the piano. You just can't sit down and play anything you want to right off the bat. It takes those hours of practice and learning. And once you get some kind of headlock like Ricky Nelson just did, why not just go ahead and take it over and then use your body weight against him? But he's just going to use his upper body strength. Take the guy on over and let your body weight rest on him, and then you've got that much more strength against him because he can't breathe.
Nelson comes off with a shoulder tackle on Trent Knight. He's up and over his man. He ducks the right flag.
Should have hooked that leg a little bit tighter. Snap mare. Reverse chin lock. Now
the little things you're talking about that make the difference between an up-and-coming star and an established star. Hook in the leg, following up on your maneuvers.
Trent should be a little bit more sitting on Ricky Nelson so that he can't breathe. He's letting Ricky move around. Ricky can breathe. If Trent, even though he's not that heavy a wrestler, if he uses his body weight and pushes against him, Ricky's not going to be able to breathe. If you can't breathe, your muscles aren't able to replenish themselves, and you weaken really quick that way.
I've heard a lot of wrestling commentators talk about oxygen depletion. Basically, what happens is the guy gets hammered on so much, he can't breathe, and if he can't breathe, he can't wrestle.
That's it, and especially like in the gym and everything, everybody says breathe, breathe, breathe while you're doing your sets. That's why, because your oxygen, that's what your body runs on. If you're not breathing, then your body isn't able to replenish itself.
Hang on, look at this. Some kind of a version of a suplex I haven't seen on a Trent Knight before.
Right on that mat.
It looks like it's done the job.
Going for a high-risk move there. You better hurry up. Eric. He's got to hurry up. Oh, he's going for another high-risk move, but he's got the speed going for him. He's going for a little bit faster go. Very good, Rocky. Very good. He got it. Square in the chest. Good.
You can tell that's one exciting young man. Rick Nelson. He racks up another one on it.
Well, a great match there, and I think you agree that Baby Doll is going to be, well, a different addition to wrestling announcing, right? Okay, off now to Birmingham, Alabama. It's Continental Wrestling Federation action. Colorful character in the ring, Rip Rogers. For many years, or at least for a while, he operated out of Calgary. Rip Rogers, I was never particularly fond of his antics in the ring or his persona outside the ring, but be that as it may, he's still gainfully employed in the business, and here he is against quite a wrestler, Terry Gordy, but they're not the only ones in the ring at the end of the match. Have a look.
Well, you see, there's a lot of people that have to prove a lot of things before you get in the ring with the champion. And myself, just because Terry Gordy's bad, just because Terry Gordy's big, and just because he's done a lot of things before, like I said, it doesn't mean nothing until you do it now.
Gordy sweeping that leg.
I'm not so sure he can.
Going into a... We could have a submission
get out of
right
this.
here.
And he's gonna. Now, there's a real cowboy for you.
Black Bart storms the ring and nails Gordy from behind. And boy, this looks like memories of a couple of weeks ago here on the CWF.
It looks like Black Bart's trying to eliminate Terry Gordy from any kind of competition, any kind of threat in the CWF. And Black Bart's a big man too, and he's just the guy that can do it.
And he's got help from Hustler Rip. I said he had help from Hustler Rip Rogers. It's Black Bart nailing Rogers. Now Gordy hits together they go. And in the ring comes the Dr. Tom Pritchard. And add to that the dog from out of the dressing room. All three of them go to work on the dog as he gets into the ring. This trio has gone wild. Pritchard left our broadcast desk going to aid both Black Bart and Hustler Rip Rogers. And they are all three now on Gordy. All three are working on Gordy. The dog goes wild. He nails Hustler Rip Rogers. You've got discs flying every way in the ring. Just a good old brawl.
Well, as we predicted, all sorts of folks in the ring at the end there, including Black Bart and Dr. Tom Pritchard. Well, from there, we travel to the Pacific Northwest for action from Portland. Buddha Dean is in the ring with Scott Peterson for this bout. It's a strap match. And the loser at the end of the bout, well, gets 10 lashes with a strap. What can I say?
Action, you're talking about professional wrestling in the Northwest, and we say it every Saturday night. It just doesn't get any better than this.
You got it. Oh, he tempted us. He tempted the sunset flip there. But Buddha Dean blocked it, grabbing the ropes. He outsmarted him there. Hey, we got the finest wrestlers throughout the world, Jack. Everybody's calling down the horns. Everybody wants to come to the hotbed of professional wrestling, and that's right here in the Pacific Northwest, Don Koss. Look at Sunday in Pendleton this Sunday, a big coal miner's glove match. Hey, Wednesday in Woodburn at the Woodburn Armory, there's a big bull rope match, tag bull rope match. My TV title's on the line. I got Matt Bourne. Hey, it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there because Thursday we're in St. Helens and there's a big coal miner's glove match there and a lot of great matches in St. Helens at the Armory on Thursday. Friday in Eugene, a big six-man tag. But next Saturday night, the match has been signed, me and King Matthew, and we'll find out who the king is. And Buddy Rose already signed his match with the Golden Boy. Hey, a lot of dues to be paid, a lot of things happening.
A lot of things are happening out there right now as Scott Peterson suplexes Buddha Dean off that top rope and another flying clothesline. This could be it. This could be it. 1, 2, 3.
He got him down fast. You realize that Boudin has to get 10 lashes now.
Peterson, the winner there, and he was to get the right to slap Boudin around with about 10 lashes worth. However, the grappler came into the ring. He bust everything up. There was total chaos. What else is new, right? Okay, Southern Championship Wrestling. We go to Atlanta, Georgia. Tommy Wildfire Rich is in the ring against the Bullet. And before the bout even gets underway, we're subjected to a real tirade by Wildfire Rich.
So before Tommy gets, well, he's here already. But I can't tell you how many minutes and hours that I've spent in the last couple of weeks trying to explain to people why we even let you come on the camera and say anything. But we're just trying to be fair, Tommy. I mean...
Well, in just a few minutes, we've got a match coming up with the Bullet.
Sure do. With the Bullet.
And you're going to see he's nothing but a
big deal.
Hit
The reason you keep me on this show, the reason Southern Championship keeps me here is because people hate me and I hate them, Gordon Clements. I like to beat people up. Just in a little bit, you're going to see me take that Bullet limb from limb. I'll show all these geeks, these crackers, whatever you want to call these ignorant people out here. I will show them that that is Bob Armstrong under that mask, because I'll take the mask off.
That's because you got a contract to wrestle with the Bullet, Tommy.
Hey, I'm the Southern Heavyweight Champion. You know, hey, Gordon Clements, you think you scare me?
Bond? We're going to break.
We're back live at ringside, and we have the match of the evening so far. This is Tommy Wildfire Rich versus the Bullet. We've heard a lot about this match, and here it is. Ron?
Well, that's right. You know, this is a match that I've been wanting to watch myself. You know, here just about a week ago, I took the one Brad Armstrong, and I beat him from pillar to post. I rode him like a horse and made his tongue hang out like a big red necktie, and I got a feeling that before this match is over, Tommy's going to do the same thing to his grandpa or whatever it is in there, the Bullet that we all know is Bob Armstrong.
Looks like the Bullet right this minute has the upper hand. Tommy Wildfire Rich is out of the ring, and he's taking his time and being very cautious about coming back in.
Well,
Tommy has been around a long
intelligence
time.
there. You know, Alan, he's like myself. He's built for endurance. He's going to go in there, and he's not only going to beat the man physically, he's going to psychologically beat him. He's going to wear him down. He's going to wear him out, and then he's going to tap dance on him like a Mexican hat dance.
A lot of experience with Tommy Rich, and Tommy's being cautious, taking his time coming back into the ring. Mr. Danny is on the side of the ring.
Stay on him, Tommy.
The Bullet takes a forehead into the turnbuckle. Tommy Rich with a fist to the forehead. Looks like it could have hurt Tommy Rich's hand just a little. The Bullet is a little dazed. It's early in the match, and the Bullet is a little dazed.
Alan, nobody believed me, but I told you right off the bat that Tommy would be coming on strong before very long. You know, Tommy, sometimes he gets a little slow starting, but once he gets to rolling, he's mighty hard to stop. He didn't get to be the NWA World Heavyweight Champion by being lazy in there. Tommy's one heck of a man, and I'm not going to take anything from the Bullet Bob Armstrong either.
Well, I don't know if the Bullet is Bob Armstrong.
Oh, sure you do, Alan. Everybody in professional wrestling, the man's been trying to hide his identity for years, but we're all smarter than that.
The Bullet does his little dance. Tommy's backed up against the... Whoa, low kick. I don't know about that one, Ron.
And on the ropes, too, Alan. That's exactly what I'm talking about. All of these fan favorites can do these things and get away with it without even the slightest warning from the referee or from the president of the Southern Championship Wrestling or anyone else. And I tell you, it's about time that some of us, like Tommy, myself, Joel Deaton, some of these other gentlemen back there in the dressing room get together and put a petition in.
Mid-ring collision, and both wrestlers are down. They both look dazed. Tommy is climbing toward his ring, his corner of the ring. The Bullet's coming up on all fours now. Tommy looks as if he's really dazed.
Looks like he's been winded really bad there.
But they mix it up again. Tommy gets the Bullet.
That's my man. A big knockout punch. That's what it's all about, Daddy. That's what it's all about. 1, 2, 3, and Tommy Wildfire Rich
Another one bites the dust. Well, Ron, there was not a lot of time in that match, and I'm not exactly sure what did happen.
Well, it's quite evident. The Bullet got a little cocky in there, and my man, the Wildfire Tommy Rich, put him in his place. Now this snotty-nosed punk kid of his is in the ring running his mouth to the referee, and that just goes to show what I've been trying to tell the people all along about the Armstrongs, what they're made of. They're nothing but a bunch of stooges.
Time now to take a commercial break, after which we'll be back with action from Puerto Rico, as well as this week's Mat Classic, right here on Pro Wrestling Plus. To Pro Wrestling Plus, as we turn our attention to San Juan. The Baton Twins are in the ring in action against the combination of the Jayhawks. And at the start of this bout, there's more activity outside the ring, and they really get it going there.
Chalk Jayhawks aren't looking so high flying right now. The Batons have had it all their way in this match.
Oh, yeah, they've double teamed. They've thrown guys over the top rope. They broke rule after rule after rule. Huh?
I thought you were going to tell me they triple teamed.
No.
Oh, the Twins. Right now, Crawford stopping on the neck.
That was a nice move by Danny Dan Crawford.
Absolutely, you would think so. Tag in, come Jaggers. Look at this. Oh!
You like that, huh?
Slam and body smash.
See, if the referee would have got there a little quicker, we had a pin right there. You know that. We had him beat.
What do you call that maneuver there?
That's called just a big old belly bumper and a big elbow, Daddy.
Well, like bat and sandwich and a squish there. Right now, this is a choke. Come on, break it. The referee says. But now, what's this? Crawford and the other batten are getting into it. Meanwhile, Jaggers continues the punishment.
That's right. I'll tell you something, Rick St. James. I always continue punishment. I'm always beating people up.
Looks like you were mouthing off of one of the Battens there.
Well, you know how the Battens are. They can't control their temper, so I just had to go there and tell him to shut up. See, all I want is that man to get up and act like a man. You know, be mano, brother.
Well, right now, you see Batten is down. And Jagger's going to take full advantage, as you see there, with a haymaker.
Not full advantage. It's one-on-one, Rick St. James. When it's one-on-one, I excel, baby.
Oh, well, look at your partner in the corner there, huh?
Oh, my partner, he's not doing that. Hey, we're doing the same thing they were doing a little while ago.
Look at that stretcheroo.
That's called you choke him on the rope, brother, and you pull his feet up underneath him so you know darn well you're choking him good.
A lot of punishment now.
But see, the guys that were making mistakes and their timing was off a little while ago, they're looking in the driver's seat right now, huh?
Nice posing from Dan Crawford.
Oh, yeah, you know, he went down to some bodybuilding tournament a couple weeks ago. You know, Hugo Savinovich was the announcer down there, and they wanted Crawford to get up. They say he'd have been the best body in the whole island.
I don't know. I'm going to check on that. I'm going to check on that and get back to you.
Well, I saw the guy that won, man. Believe me, I come in second place.
Oh, my. 1, 2, oh, there. You almost got caught by an excellent wrestling move.
I'll tell you something, that was a good wrestling move, but did you notice the power of kicking out that I had?
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I powered out of that, brother. Pure power strength, man. All the power lifters and the bodybuilders out there, they know what I'm talking about, man.
Cost you a
lot of amino acids.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, we got him beat right there, Danny. Yeah. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Any referee in the United States would have counted 3.
2.
Any referee in the United States would have counted 3.
Okay, but we're not in the United States.
This goes to show you down here you're $1 short and a dime late, man.
You know as well as I do.
There we are, Rick St. James. And you said something about we were making mistakes a while ago. We look pretty good precision team right now. Count them. 1, 2, 3. The bell rang. The bell rang. You know what happened, Rick St. James? Time limit, 20-minute time limit. And I'll tell you something, this match is ended in a draw.
Time now to take a look at the ratings. And this time around, we want you to put the spotlight on the Pacific Northwest and the NWA. This week's Matt Classic is up next. We travel back in time to 1983 to Calgary to see a tag team battle. It's the combination of Ben Basarab and Mr. Hito against the Cuban Assassin and Hiro Saito on Pro Wrestling Plus. Wrestling Plus. And now we travel to Florida and take a look at Florida Championship Wrestling. We're going to see the junior heavyweight champions in the ring, Tyree Proud against Jim Backlund. Backlund can't get it through his head that this is a non-title affair. He just cannot believe it. Also watch out for Mark Starr, who's at ringside to, well, I would guess he's going to add a little bit of that ingredient known as interference.
One fall, 10-minute time limit. Backlund, forearms into the side of the rib cage, another. Irish whip, and that time Tyree caught him. Good shoulder smash coming off the ropes. Tyree up and over his man. Good counter by Tyree Pride. And a wing-over takedown by Tyree. Backlund complaining, and so is Mark Starr, but the crowd taking issue with Backlund. Tyree didn't pull any hair. Tyree has the tenacity of a pit bull. Mark Starr. Backlund having some problems with the folks here in the TV studios. Backlund slides under the bottom rope, moves back into the ring. Backlund's got Tyree in a spot here. This could be a problem. Tyree broke it up beautifully. A reverse standing drop kick. Again, some consultation between Mark Starr and Jim Backlund. And Backlund being unnerved somewhat by the crowd, and it's Backlund catching him coming in, and Tyree is driven to the canvas, and so Backlund caught him coming in, catches him once again coming off the ropes, and Tyree is down. Backlund once again closes in. And Tyree tried to block that. He was not totally successful. Backlund now across the throat again, and now into a rear chin lock. Mark Starr carrying on a verbal battle with some of the folks here in the studio. Meanwhile, Tyree Pride back to the canvas. The referee double checking.
Come on, Jimmy.
Tyree Pride explodes with a hard right hand, and Backlund retaliates, and Tyree went down to his knees. Wait a minute. Mark Starr comes charging in there. He catches his own man. Tyree Pride catches him. Starr caused the disqualification, and Mark Starr is backing away. He decides he doesn't want any more of that. The winner of the match, of course, is Tyree Pride.
Well, despite the opposition, Tyree Pride coming through victorious there. Now, let's move over to Calgary, where the King, as he calls himself, Harley Race, comes into the territory. He's a guy who has won the world title 7 times. I don't wish to demean the man, but doesn't that mean that he lost it 6 times? Okay, I won't tell him that to his face. Okay, at any rate, Harley Race is into the territory, and he takes on the one-time North American heavyweight champion, Ron Ritchie. ending Dory Funk's reign of 4 years. Beat Jerry Funk, beat the Stomper in this ring. He's been a great scrapper and still remains a tough hombre.
When he was world's heavyweight wrestling champion, the 7th time, I had the pleasure of wrestling Harley Race in Kansas City in front of a sellout crowd. And the match ended a 1-hour draw. It was the highlight of my life because I had Harley on the ropes like I have everybody on the ropes when I wrestle him. And that'll include Chris Benoit later on in 2 or 3 weeks. He'll find out.
You're going against Chris Benoit?
Oh, yes. I think it's coming.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to come?
I'll be there. Oh, I will be there. Whoa, just a minute. Did he get him? He got him. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I thought he had a leg hooked up on the rope.
Let me tell you, that was Harley Race 10, 12 years ago. That was his favorite little thing.
All right, Bulldog Bob Brown.
He wanted the chair.
What, he wanted a chair. What
I don't
for?
know why he wanted it.
Why did he want the chair?
I don't know.
He wanted to sit down in the ring?
I don't know.
Why is it I doubt that he wanted to sit down? Well, he threw the referee out.
I don't know what's happening, Ed. He asked me he wanted to sit down.
Well, he's going to pile drive him on the chair. I can't believe this. Oh, Mamma Mia. I can't believe that. I've never seen that. That's disgusting.
I thought he wanted to sit down. I didn't think he was going to use the...
Time now for Fan Forum, where you participate in the show, and I am going to hustle my bustle because we've got a lot of stuff. I've just chosen a few of the letters. I'm always delighted to hear from Cliff Daverick of Memora, Ontario, and he's given us a little information that's being printed in the East relative to what's happening in that great battle upcoming between the NWA and the WWF. NWA is making a spectacular comeback, they're saying, at the direct expense of world-class wrestling and the Calgary Stampede Wrestling. Headed for Turner's stable are the British Bulldogs, Michael Hayes, Steve Cox, Owen Hart, and Steve Casey. Don Morocco in the interim, they expect will wind up in the AWA. That's rather interesting. The British Bulldogs had come back to Calgary. I was unaware that they planned to go on, but I know that Ted Turner and his great broadcasting power and his wallet, in addition, he's all set to take on the WWF, and it's going to be pretty wild. Incidentally, I also read a note here, courtesy of Cliff. Blue Blazer is set to leave the WWF as soon as his contract runs out. He says he'll unmask himself and fight as Owen Hart. That's rather logical because the Blue Blazer is Owen Hart. It adds up, doesn't it? Okay, here's a letter from Jeff Parsons of Gander, Newfoundland, among other things. He says, could you show a championship match involving Ric Flair and Harley Race, which took place in March of 1984 at the New Jersey Meadowlands as part of your Matt Classic segment? I would like to, if we can find it, Jeff Parsons. We'll do our best in that regard. Heatherton, Newfoundland, I watch your show as much as I can. I love it very much. My favorite wrestlers are so on and so on. I also have the ones I hate, and the one I hate the most is the announcer, Bulldog Brown. Get rid of him, and it's Laurie Harris of Heatherton, Newfoundland. And right underneath this one, from Tatamagouche, Nova Scotia, this is from Joe Selig. I watch your show. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you for acquiring such a fine announcer and sidekick by the name of Bulldog Bob Brown. That's what it says. I've known Bob Brown for some time now. I worked with him last summer. He's a joy and a pleasure. A lot of people dislike him, but hey, I'm behind him 100%. He adds color and excitement to your show. We need more Bob Browns in the world of professional wrestling. That would put me into a mental institution, I might add. Sorry, Joe, but I wonder if that matches the type on Bulldog Bob Brown's typewriter. No, Joe, surely not. This is from M. Thistle of Western Ontario, among other things. The more I hear that big mouth of Bob Brown, the madder I get. Now, this is an intelligent letter from M. Thistle. The more I hear of that big mouth, the madder I get. Why don't you do all of us fans a big favor and stuff that microphone down his throat? I would like to see Chris Benoit take Brown. on and take him apart. So obviously, we've got some varying opinions on Bob Brown. We'll be right back. Really thank you for your participation in Fan Forum, and we welcome your letter. If we can get it on the air, we will. We have to pick and choose. I apologize for that. At any rate, let's get going. Here's the address. Fan Forum, Box 807, Station J, Calgary, T2A 1P0. That's Fan Forum, Box 807, Station J, Calgary, T2A 1P0. We are right the smack out of time. Got to get out of here. Thank you for being with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time, when again it is time for Pro Wrestling Plus. Goodbye now.